2,000 feet, turn left to stay on Southwest 192nd Avenue, Tower Road.
Oh, it came right up in there. Alright, we can look at these all after this stuff we want.
They won't bother me. They're scared.
పడే ఉండాలి దానికి పడి ఉండాలి పట్టుకోవాలి.
Idea, because dragging the alligator home in this hot Florida sun, the meat of the alligator starts to spoil very fast. So they had to come up with different ways to bring the alligators home alive. Those are some of the techniques I'm going to be showing today. But before I get a hold of one of these alligators, if we can, let's get a big hand for our American alligators. All right. So when capturing an alligator, some would say get a hold of the jaws first. What do you guys think? Go for the jaws? You are right. Do not go for those jaws. The jaws of the alligator is the most dangerous part of the alligator. So we are going to go for the tail. No teeth, very safe, at least for me. And no worries, dragging the alligator by the tail does not harm the alligator. The alligator that I'm using today, this is a female alligator. This alligator is between 15 and 20 years old, I'm sorry. So age-wise, she is full-grown. She is going to get a lot bigger than this, but not as big as that one over there. The male, the bigger one over there is a male alligator. The way you can tell the alligators apart is by the size. Male alligators get bigger than female alligators. Well, this one here is around 190 pounds, so around the same weight as me. Only difference is this alligator is 10 times stronger than me. And if this alligator wants to, this alligator can have its way with me any day. All right. And the first technique that I'm going to show you, this technique is called the quick capture. And no worries, nothing I'm doing today is harming or hurting this alligator. Another difference between the alligator and the crocodile. the teeth. Alligators have more teeth. Alligators have 80 teeth. Crocodiles have 60 teeth. When the alligator's jaws are closed, the only teeth you can see are the teeth from the top jaw. So kind of like an overbite. With the crocodile, when the crocodile's jaws are closed, all of their teeth are showing. So it looks like the crocodile has more teeth, but it is actually the alligator with more teeth. Alligators have 80 teeth, crocodiles have 60 teeth. If you look closely to the back of the alligator's throat, you can see that it's sealed shut. The back of the alligator's throat, called the glottis. And the glottis is used when the alligator grabs its prey outside of the water, drags its prey back into the water, drowns its prey, but not drown itself. The full bite force of an alligator this size is going to be around 2,000 to 3,000 pounds per square inch. And that is more than enough power to crack bones and even crush turtle shells. Anything that touches the inside of the alligator's mouth, when the jaws are opened up like this, the alligator is going to slam those jaws shut right away. At the top of the snout, the nostrils of the alligator. The alligator's skull is skin-covered bone, so barely any filling on the skull of the alligator. The alligator's eyes are right here pointed off to the side. Because the alligator's eyes are pointed off to the side, alligators can only see off to their sides, so they cannot see directly in front of them. The alligator's ears are right here. So these little flaps below the eyes are the ears of the alligator. The alligator can hear very well. And when the alligator is underwater, the alligator is going to seal those ears shut so that no water can enter the ear canals of the alligator. Just between the ears, so right here at the center of the alligator's skull where I'm pointing my finger, right under there, that's going to be where the alligator's brain is located. The alligator's brain is only around the same size as my thumbnail. So probably around the same size as my brain for being in here with these alligators, right? Yeah. With a brain that small, that does mean the alligator is an instinctual animal, so you cannot train alligators. This next technique I'm going to show you now, this technique is called bulldogging. And the bulldogging technique is used to tie the jaws of the alligator. Sometimes the natives, they would have to go out and hunt alligators alone. They needed a way to tie the jaws for just one person. That is how they would do it. All right, guys, the show is not over yet. I got on the alligator safely, right? So one thing left for me to do. That is get off the alligator safely. I want to remind everybody, alligators are not your friends. They're not your buddies, and they make horrible pets. Out in the wild, alligators are fast enough to catch small dogs, small cats, and even small flying birds. Catching one of us, not a problem for an alligator. If you see an alligator, guys, always keep a safe distance. I want to thank everybody for coming out. That does conclude my alligator show. If you enjoyed the show, please feel free to show your appreciation on the way out. But before you leave, I'm going to give everybody a chance to hold an alligator. So if you would like to hold an alligator, guys, come on down. All right, so 2 hands at all times. 1 hand under the front legs, the other hand under the tail. There you go.
Everyone's growling.
All right, Emma, your turn. you guys gotta be very careful.
Hold it tight, okay?
Hold it tight.
Strong.
It's upside down, that's it. Oh, it's a live fish.
అప్పుడే ఎక్కేసాం చెట్టు.
Ooh, fun.
Between the males, we have to minimize the amount of males that are in this pond. The majority of the alligators you're looking at now are female alligators. But the way that you can tell the alligators apart, male or female, is going to be by the size. The ones that look way bigger than the other ones, those are going to be your males. Smaller ones, females. Then you're probably wondering, one small bucket of rats, is that going to be enough to feed all these alligators? No, it is not. Alligators are cold-blooded animals. They do not have to eat every single day like us. Like mammals, alligators can go long periods of time without food. Out in the wild, a full-grown alligator can go anywhere between 2 and 3 years without food. But not the alligators in this pond. These alligators are very well fed. Once a month, we dump in over 1,000 pounds of meat. We use beef, chicken, pork, fish, farm-raised rats and rabbits, and 1,000 pounds of meat once a month. That is more than enough to feed all of the alligators in this pond. The reason we like to use the rats is because rat bones are easy for the alligators to digest. Because alligators, whenever they eat their food, they do not chew their food. They can't break down their food. They have to swallow it whole. And the rat bones are very easy for the alligators to digest. So that is why we like to use them. No, we do not catch these rats or kill them or grow them here on the farm. These rats are shipped to us in a bag, frozen, so they are used for the feeding. We don't get them from here. You also never want to be in the water with an alligator. Because if you're in the water with an alligator, the only thing the alligator might see is your little head above the water. The alligator might mistake your tiny little head as a small bird, small duck, maybe even a small mammal. The alligator is going to approach you in the water, more than likely attack you, take you under the water, and drown you. Once under the water, the alligator will finally realize it cannot swallow your full body. Alligators will never go after anything and try to eat it if they can see how big it is, and if the alligator knows it cannot swallow it whole, the alligator is not going to go after it and try to eat it. So no, human beings are not on the menu for alligators, but being in the water with one, your chances of getting attacked goes up a lot more. So if you're not from Florida, you want to go for a swim, you might want to stick to the pools or the beaches. Leave the lakes and the canals to the alligators. Alligators can also jump around 3/4 of their body size. That's in and out of water. So if you have an airboat coming up, what happens if an alligator jumps onto your airboat? So if an alligator gets on your airboat, the best thing to do is you're going to want to grab the person that's sitting next to you and throw them in front of you. That's the best thing to do. At least that's what I would do. I would never do that, guys. And also, the alligators out in the Everglades are not going to bother you. The ones that you have to worry about are the ones that are fed by us. So one of the worst things that you can ever do to a wild alligator is feed a wild alligator. Once fed, the alligator loses its fear of man. Now that alligator is going to start coming up to people looking for food all the time. That makes the alligator a lot more dangerous. It is also illegal to feed wild alligators. And when reported, Florida Fish and Wildlife authorities, they will remove those alligators from their habitat and even kill those alligators. So for your safety and the safety of the alligators here in Florida, never feed a wild alligator. Because alligators have a blind spot directly in front of them, they have a hard time seeing directly in front of them. So when I'm throwing the rats out here, I'm trying to get the rats to land more towards the sides of their heads so that the alligators can see the rats. Because if it lands in front of them, they're not going to be able to see it. water, the alligator cannot swallow its food under the water. They have to bring their heads out of the water in order to swallow what they're eating. Alright guys, this is my last rat. We're gonna get it out of the water again. And one question I'm always asked is, what happens if I walk in here with the alligators?